relaxed, back straight, eyes closed, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling that power you have, your determination to control your breathing. The same way you can take control of your mind anywhere you are, whatever you're doing. Let's use that same power, that same determination to see in our mind the image, the visions that we want to create today in our lives. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all of the stretches and exercises we do together here and now. Let's use that power we have, our true being, our presence, our determination to see in our mind right now, go into the future. Think about what you want to make real. Bring it to the present. That music goes off.
Yeah. Woo! Let's go.
Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Woo! Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh.
Everybody just have a good time.
I can feel it.
And we gon' make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
We just wanna see you
Shake that.
In the club, party rock. Looking for your girl, she on my jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock, half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
Party rock is in the house tonight. Woo! Everybody just have a good time.
yeah.
And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you
Shake that.
Of age, he gets a hat-trick.
Just enjoys it so much, doesn't he? You can see that the way he plays. Now that's good play.
I think we're entitled to make a fuss because he's got such talent. They couldn't get near him.
Everybody, want to share with you a thought that has helped me so much in my life, and I hope it does the same for you. All the greats, all the wonderful thinkers, all the wonderful people that have accomplished amazing things have done this one thing. It is so clear and evident, and that is this: don't judge yourself. We are the worst enemies, our own worst enemies. For myself, all these years, I've been locked up in my own self-made prison, my thoughts of judging myself for mistakes that I've made, things that have happened. It is up to you. I want you to remember this as we go on this path of infinite mind wealth together, which I believe is the true path we're meant to be on. We're supposed to be imperfect. We're supposed to be forever imperfect. That's what allows the mistakes. And we can actually have fun with it. It's up to us. And so the biggest thing is, don't judge yourself. You make a mistake, great. Here's an opportunity to learn. Have a great day, everybody.
We're going to go over lifestyle design today. So if you don't have your pen and your paper or your phone with your notes, grab it. You're going to take a lot of notes. We're going to design your lifestyle. Like Brendan is redesigning his. I just redesigned mine. And it's something that I'm actually incorporating into my company once a month, because a lot of times we get down, we get sad, we get depressed because we realize the world is changing and we got to change with it. We got to check in. So I'm going to take you through the lifestyle design process so that you can enjoy the beauty of growth and evolution as we grow and evolve in the world. I am so excited. But before we just talk about what are your goals, what do you really want, the first part of wellness is cleansing and detoxing. And I do this daily, I do this monthly. So first we're going to talk about, the first part of lifestyle design, which is checking in. So I want you to share with me in the chat and on your paper, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? How are you? I saw someone shared in the chat, Rachel, my heart goes out to you and what you're experiencing right now. It will get better starting today. It will get better. You will feel better. You're already in the right place by being on this call. Every single person that's on this call, you are a part of the positivity that's happening in the world. You are part of the growth that's happening in the world. You are part of the healing. You are a blessing to the planet because you came in today to work with the community, to work on yourself. And I love and appreciate you for that. So know that you are in the right place. You're in a high vibration. We are high vibrational people. So thank you. On a scale of 1 to 10, I see 10, I see 6, I see 8, I see 9, I see 7. And know that it doesn't matter where you are right now, because when you get off the call, if you're not at a 10, you're going to be closer to it, right? So it's about acknowledging where you are right now. I'm at about an 8 right now. I live a healthy lifestyle. I'm happy, but there's some places which I'm going to share with you as we go through this process that I feel like I want to make some shifts and changes. And if we're all honest with ourselves, we're all going through a constant checking in and evolution. And if you're able to be honest about, I'm grateful for my life, but here are some things I want to change so that I can experience more abundance in different areas. All right. So we're going to go over that. So the first thing is just checking in on a scale. Always check in midweek. Ask yourself, where am I at? How am I feeling? Y'all, if you've coached with me before, I do a check-in in my phone every day that says, how are you? I just ask myself, how are you feeling and what do you need? How are you feeling? I say this daily in the middle of the day. If you don't get it daily, weekly, how do you feel? What do you need? Sometimes it's a glass of water. Sometimes it's food. Sometimes it's a hug. Sometimes it's getting out in nature. But I always ask myself, because that way you don't get to the end of the day and feel totally drained. Oh, I forgot to eat a meal. I forgot to drink water today. I forgot to breathe. Just stop and take a breath. So always check in with yourself. But right now we're going to check in with your entire life. And that's the first part of lifestyle design. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to let go of that's not serving you? What do you need? And it's good to do this on the new moon and the full moon. But if you haven't done this, what do you need to let go of? Because you don't want to just start. You've all heard about the jar of rocks. And if you just fill it all up with sands and pebbles, you don't have room for everything you want to do. But if you clean out all the sands and pebbles and focus on the big things you want to do, you'll get more that you really wanted to do accomplish. But if you have 1,000 things in your jar and you're like, and I want this and I want that and I want that, it's no room for it. There's no room for it, right? So let's start with cleaning out. What are you cleaning out of your life? It could be negative self-talk. Let's go emotional first. We know Miss USA committed suicide recently, and people are committing suicide every single day. Mental health illnesses are at an all-time high. People are not okay. Some days I'm not okay. And I have to sit down, go through all my wellness practices, and love myself up until I get there. It's okay if you're on this call and you're not okay. That's what we're building. So what do you need to let go of? Emotionally, negative self-talk. Emotionally, being angry about something that's outside of your control. It might be physically, I need to let go of this toxic relationship that I know is not serving me. It might be, I need to let go of this job that's stressing me out and not paying me what I need. What are you letting go of that's not serving you? What are you letting go of that's at a lower vibration in your life? Right? The more you let go of those lower vibrational things, the more you'll feel better, the more you'll have energy, the more you'll have a higher vibration. If you're around people 24/7 with a low vibration, you can't function at a high vibration because you're giving them all of that energy. Not saying you can't hear people's problems and hang around low vibrational people sometimes, but you have to balance out how much you're doing that. And you have to have other friends, family members that are higher vibration, or a community that you're tapping into that are a higher vibration to balance you out. Life is not about perfection. It's about harmony. You know, how can you live in harmony with what's going on in the world? There's going to be darkness. There's going to be light. So as we do your lifestyle design, you're basically becoming a scientist, right? And a detector detecting, okay, what's low vibration? What's high vibration? How am I going to move this? You're playing Tetris with your life right now. And that's how you're going to design a life that really starts serving you versus taking away from who you really are. You're going to design a life that allows you to shine fully. Okay, the second question is, what are you keeping? What are you keeping? What is working in your life? What are you grateful for? You want to write that down right now. But because before you start putting things in, you want to think about, man, I'm grateful I have my family. I'm grateful I have my health. I'm grateful I have my house, my car. What are those things that you're like, perfect, I love this. I'm grateful for this. This is already going to raise your vibration from clearing out the clutter. And if you're still writing things you're letting go of, that's fine. Keep writing, right? You want to get it all out. And then see if you can match that list with things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for Growth Day. I'm grateful for this Growth Day community. I'm grateful that I'm still alive because I've had dark thoughts, right? I'm grateful I said yes to life, right? So write down the things that you're grateful for. We want to really acknowledge those things that are working in our life before we get to adding anything else. Hello, everyone.
Are you ready to bubble? Everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 bubbling, dance all night, we go dance all night. Yo, are you ready to bubble? Dance all night, we go dance all night. Ha ha, me want this ya. Dance all night, we go dance all night. Dance all, dance all, dance all, dance. All right, y'all. Are you ready to bubble? Bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, little bubble, yo, bubbly, 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 bum bum bum, bubbly, 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 bum bum bum, bubbly, 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 bum bum bum. starting. We going on, I guess I'm making us stop. Let's party hard tonight. So going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Couple up this party going for a fine. Green drinks, we don't care, we go down.
Busca una passata per Ronaldinho, no hi arriba Coloccini. Déu-n'hi-do Ronaldinho, li ha fet un barret d'esperó. La passada és per Messi, pot marcar Messi!
Hi again, everyone. Today, Sadhguru shares amazing wisdom in a funny way, and that's what he does so well. So as we're on this path of infinite mind wealth together, if you find I'm too serious or you find others that don't work for you, go to this guy, go to Sadhguru. He has a humorous way of looking at things. So today he tells us to produce good movies in our mind. And I love that. Producing movies in our mind. That's what we do all the time with our thoughts. So think about it. What movies are you producing in your mind? Of yourself, of life around you? 99% of the time, the thing that holds us back is these movies, these horror movies, as Sadhguru says, these fear-based horror movies that 99% of the time are not happening. So start producing good movies in your mind. Produce a movie where you're the hero of your story and there's a happy ending. Visualize that. So again, that will make it a lot more fun as opposed to serious. Have a great day, everybody.
Maybe a time period when you don't know exactly what to do with your so-called life, which is not yours. So you just be as still as possible, do your whatever activity you're already doing, but bring stillness into it. And then at some point, either the realization of what it is that you need to do, that wants to be done through you, and then you start taking action. Always making sure you're not so attached to the outcome that you think it's more important than the present moment. An action can become egoic when you lose yourself in the doing. And a good sign or good criterion when something happens against your, seems to be an obstacle, a person or situation. Say, I want to do this or achieve that, and suddenly somebody says, no, you can't do that. Or a situation becomes a challenge, it's difficult, it's blocked, you want to go. Somebody says, no, you're not qualified to do that, you shouldn't do that, it's not allowed. Obstacles come all the time. If you get upset, that means the ego is back in the doing when obstacles come.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them for me, because I want to wake up every day and watch a video that puts me in a mindset to believe in myself more and go off and accomplish amazing things and attack the day. And I hope that this video does that for you as well. So today, let's learn how to unlock your power to manifest. Enjoy.
If you're not upset, you're still present and you look at whatever the obstacle is, and you look at it with this penetrating gaze of presence, which is stillness also. You look at whatever the obstacle arises, you bring this penetrating stillness to it, and that is like a light shines on it. And then that dissolves the obstacle, or it shows you a way around it. That's the power of consciousness. It always happens. Either it shows you how to get around it, or it shows you how to use the very force of the obstacle, and you turn it around. If the obstacle is wanting to go this way, and you go with it I'm just demonstrating now, something counteracts what you want to do. It's coming this way, you want to go that way, but you don't meet it head on and start complaining, say, no, this shouldn't be happening. No. Perhaps you go with it for a little while and you go, and then you turn it around. And the very power that was against you then works for you, and you achieve your goal through that. It happens, and this is the wisdom that comes with non-resistance. So whenever you go into this conscious doing, resistance always pulls you back into unconscious doing. Can easily happen because it's an old habit pattern, unconscious doing. Inner resistance to whatever arises in the present moment pulls you back. Inner resistance is some form of negativity, some form of complaining, some form of fear, aggression, anger. And this is important because whenever you complain about what somebody else does, that you're already beginning to fall into that trap of unconsciousness. Don't judge yourself if you fall back occasionally into the old consciousness, but you will quickly know it. How will you know it? You begin to suffer. You get upset. You get upset about situations. You get upset about people. You get upset about what somebody said. You get upset about what somebody should have said but didn't. You get upset about what somebody did or failed to do. Oh, there's a sign that you've fallen back. Beautiful line in the Course in Miracles. I am never upset for the reason I think. So you'll be upset many times every day. By other people, by situations, by the slightest things or the biggest things. Upset by the entire world is so frustrating. So that's a little sign then. If you're upset, you want to go somewhere, but people are not cooperative. Situations are not cooperative. And you can talk to yourself. So that's a good sign then you can use. Also shows you to what extent the ego is active in you, because what's upset is not you, it's the ego in you. The ego is the erroneous identification with form, a false sense of I, which wanted something to make itself feel more at ease or bigger or more important or whatever, and is frustrated in its aims. How much doing you do, how much varies from form to form, person to person. Some will be very active and into conscious doing and create and enjoy the creation. And others may do relatively little, or may just continue to do what they're doing already, but whatever they are doing will be a vehicle for consciousness or stillness that flows into it, this power, this beautiful energy that flows. It could be even a person who just gives information. Let's say you work at an airport and you give information to people. And maybe you stay there, and then everybody who comes to ask, where's gate number 16? You say, well, you go that way, and it's only about a 3-minute walk. And there were not only the words, there was a transmission of stillness with the words. Not in the sense that I am going to transmit stillness, no. It happens because you let go of the sense of doing, of I do. It happens. And the person, this one traditional word for it is blessing. The person goes away being blessed with that energy. And so, beautiful. So what you do really is secondary. Some may do great things. Others may do things that look on the surface not so significant. And ultimately, what you do is secondary. But how you do it is primary. When the how means the consciousness that flows into what you do.
Rule number 2 is don't let your mind limit you with Bruce Lipton.
The problem with the concept of power, the power of positive thinking, is people just think, oh, well, if I just have positive thoughts, then my life should be affected. And this is why positive thinking has a real bad rap in the public. And the reason is this. Having a positive thought does not in any way necessitate that those positive thoughts actually manifest themselves. And there's a piece that was left out. And if you don't understand the piece, then you're shouting into the wind with your positive thoughts. Nothing's going to happen. And the fact is this. When you're having positive thoughts, you're using your mind. The new biology reveals that the invisible forces that collectively we refer to as mind, that these form a field which shape biology. Well, here's what's important. Yes, the mind influences biology, but there are two parts to the mind that are completely different than one another, yet they work together. We confuse them, we tie them together, and yet they represent two entities working in two different fashions. There's the conscious mind and what is called the subconscious mind. Now, here's what very important, people have to know this, okay, and here's what it is. The conscious mind is our creative mind that is connected to our personal identity and our spiritual selves. That makes us all unique. Each of us has our own personal conscious mind. But what becomes very significant is this, is the subconscious mind is equivalent to a tape player. It's exactly what it is. It records experiences and then plays them back. And so now let's take a look and say, well, wait, there's a thinking mind, and then there's a tape player mind. And what's different about them is very profound. So let's talk about two fundamental differences first. The tape player, the subconscious mind, as an information processor, as the equivalent of a computer, is 1,000,000 times more powerful an information processor than is the conscious mind. So when you look at the power between the conscious and subconscious is 1,000,000 times more powerful. Number two, on a day-by-day basis, the subconscious mind runs our biology about 95 to 99% of the time. So while you're having all these wonderful thoughts, that's not the conscious mind's not running the show. It's a subconscious mind. Then comes the issue is, well, the subconscious mind got programs in it. Yes. And the subconscious mind is not evil or good. The subconscious mind is a tape player. As much as you can say, okay, here's a tape player. It's good or bad. The tape player is not good or bad. The programs can be good, and the programs can be bad. So blaming the subconscious mind as a negative thing, that's the first mistake. It's a tape player. The programs that we got, that's the source of the problems that most of us face. And these programs could limit our abilities and take away our powers, which essentially they do. Now, the relevance about positive thinking is this. Positive thinking is a creative thought that comes from the conscious mind. Okay, so I sit here and I'm going to have all these wonderful thoughts. I'm going to close my eyes and visualize all these wonderful things. Now stop and go back to the mechanical character of it. I'm having these thoughts with a little tiny processor called the conscious mind, and I'm competing with the programs that are in the subconscious mind. So if I have a thought for being healthy or being in a good relationship, and I'm doing positive thinking, and at the same time, I have acquired programs in my development that said, you're not as healthy as you think you are, and you're not that good a person to have those kind of relationships. Then look, I'm now pitting my positive thoughts against my programs, and they're opposite. But this one works on a little tiny processor, and this processor is 1,000,000 times more powerful. So right away, it's like, who's going to win in that challenge? The answer, of course, the subconscious is going to win, okay? But here comes the other part. While I can try to maintain positive thoughts in my life using my conscious mind, this conscious mind only operates less than 5% of the day. That says 95% or more of the day, I'm operating from the other belief system. The point is, do the math. How powerful are positive thoughts? And the answer is, unless the subconscious has the same programs and agreement as the conscious mind, power of positive thinking will not work. It will not work because you're competing against a much more powerful processor. The belief that is taught is that biology and the world we live in operates according to Newtonian principles. unfortunate part about that is quantum mechanics 100 years ago said that's obviously not true, and physicists know this is not true, and yet medicine doesn't buy into it because it still focuses on the material reality and lets go of the invisible shaping fields that quantum physics emphasizes as primary. Okay, so we have to change that belief system. We have to get people to recognize that the field and the thoughts and all these other things are as important as anything else in shaping the matter we live in. Number two, the belief which I blew away years ago, but it's still being taught in school, is the concept that genes control life. This is totally false. Genes control nothing. Control is an action. A gene is a blueprint. It's physically, literally a string with blueprint data on it. Why is that relevant? It's interesting. Go to an architect's office, and the architect's working on a blueprint, and then lean over the architect's shoulder and say, is that blueprint on or off? And he looks at you, the blueprint's not on or off, it's a blueprint. Yeah, but we talk about genes being on and off, like genes are turning on and genes are turning off. And the question is, but genes are blueprints. They can't turn on and off. There is no on and off. It's just the blueprint. It's a pattern. What we have failed to focus on because we gave genes a character of self-actualization. That my genes decided to do something. It's like, okay, now we're a victim of the genes. But it turns out biologists know that this is not true. Biologists know that genes are not turned on and off. Genes are read or not read, like blueprints. Then all of a sudden it says, well, it's not the blueprint that's important. If the blueprints were self-actualizing, an architect could go by a building site, drop the blueprints off, come back 2 weeks later, and the building will be there. That's what we think about animals and plants. The genes are blueprints and they'll control all this. It's like, no, the blueprints are important. I'm not saying they're not. You got the bad blueprints, you got some problems going on here. But the issue is, it's not the presence or absence of a blueprint, it's whether the blueprint is being read. And then you say, well, then who reads the blueprint? And the answer is a contractor. And who's the contractor? The mind is the contractor. The mind reads genes. The mind can change the genes readout. Here's something so blow away that most people can't in their conventional world make sense of it, because it goes like this. The mind, through what is called epigenetic mechanisms, can start with a single gene blueprint and create over 30,000 different versions of products from the same blueprint. 30,000 different products from the same blueprint. All of a sudden you realize, my God, you can infinitely vary the expression of the gene. And the answer is yes. And why has this become relevant to all of us? And the answer is because many of us think genes control our lives. And yet we don't realize that we modify the readout of the gene. So we could be totally healthy and our mind can cause cancer. Our mind can cause any disease, diabetes, anything like that. And what's interesting is the flip side is some people come here with actually defective genes. And guess what? With their mind, they can rewrite those genes and make them normal. So the genes are not the limiting factor, it's the mind. Hi, I'm Bruce Lipton, author of the best-selling books, The Biology of Belief, Spontaneous Evolution, and The Honeymoon Effect. I'm here to thank Evan Carmichael for featuring me on his YouTube channel, and I want to let you know that Evan is giving away links where you can watch the first episodes of my special Gaia series entitled Inner Evolution for free. Evan is making this offer to thank you for watching this video. You will find the links in the description section below. Thank you.
Rule number 3 is restructure your brain with Joe Dispenza.
I have worked so hard in getting people to the point where they can forget about themselves and become nobody, no one, no thing, no where, and no time. People, when they finally get this, when they finally realize that when they're pure consciousness and they're connected to the field, and then they start putting their attention on that frequency of oneness and wholeness and tune into it and pay attention to it and stay present with it and become more aware of it and experience it and feel it moment after moment after moment. How much of people's waking day do they put their attention on the field, and how much do they put their attention on matter? I'd say 100% of the time they put their attention on matter. Now, our students are connecting to a greater frequency. They know how to get beyond themselves. They can sit for extended periods of time. They can lock in. They can experience it. I watch. If they're connecting to that level of frequency called the quantum field, where they're experiencing something cool, something greater, that you can't experience with your senses, as you evolve and unfold deeper into it, you experience less separation and more oneness and wholeness. And the more connected you are to it, the less distance between you as a consciousness, free-willed individual, and the consciousness of the objective unified field. The closer you are to it, the shorter amount of time it's going to take for it to appear in your life. Because you're outside the fundamental rules of Newtonian physics and 3D reality. You're changing the field and it changes matter instantaneously. So now we're seeing it happen in a shorter amount of time because we're getting better at it. We're connecting to that field more. And I know this to be the case because when I witness it in week-long events, I know the moment. I can tell you when the energy shifts in the room, and now I know it's going to be fun. Now I know, get ready because the miracles are happening. It'll happen in 1 week. You tell me how a tumor can disappear on a person's thyroid. Not one, not two. You tell me how a man with a stroke who's been paralyzed in his arm and leg, that's in his 70s, paralyzed for years, and now lifting his arm above his head. How do you explain that? He didn't do that matter to matter. He didn't change his diet. He didn't do physical therapy. He didn't try to have a good attitude and think positively. There was none of that. Something in the field changed, and the pattern of that condition in the field changed. So it is happening in a shorter amount of time. There is no rule. It's about the person's ability to pay attention and to focus, to be greater than their body, their environment, and time. It's their sincerity. It's the engagement when they go sit down and do it. They're not doing, oh man, I gotta do this. That's the wrong attitude. Nothing's gonna happen then. You get there like, I'm going to connect with the divine. This is gonna be a great day. I'm gonna keep my energy up. I'm not getting up until I feel like I'm empowered. That person's gonna have a rockin' day. They're gonna have a good day.
Rule number 4 is shift your paradigm with Bob Proctor.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, Macarena.
Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is! Have you seen a better goal than that anywhere?
Morning, guys. I want to share with you today one thing that has changed everything in my life, and I know it can for you. We live in a world where one of the greatest challenges facing us is our mind health and how we can go from mind power to mind wealth. once you make a decision, you find your one word and you make that determination to just go after your greatness, your true great self, you begin to control this. And that's the key to everything. So once you make a decision, doesn't matter whether, what state you're at in terms of, you want to fix it right away. No, just make the decision to go on the path. This thing locks in and you can go from drifting to living with definiteness of purpose, determination. I hope this helps everybody. Have a great day.
So Vipassana is a Pali Sanskrit word that means to see clearly, and the primary practice of it is mindfulness or loving awareness, and it's generally established in the body that somehow we're so lost in our thoughts that a first step in coming into presence is to recognize that there's this body and breath that are actually present here and now, and then from awareness or loving awareness of body and presence, then it becomes possible to first notice the rivers of feelings and thoughts and so forth, and then to actually become the space of awareness, the knowing, that to recognize that there's experience and there is also the knowing of experience. So that's kind of, there you have it. You don't have to go to the Himalayas or travel all the way. That's the essence of it.
Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them for me, because I want to wake up every day and watch a video that puts me in a mindset to believe in myself more and go off and accomplish amazing things and attack the day. And I hope that this video does that for you as well. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Jack Kornfield, and my take on his top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2 is do morning chants.
Every morning after alms round in the monastery, we would do our morning chants, sometimes before we went out, some of them when we came back. And they were chants of gratitude and prayers. May I use the food that's offered, the robes that I've been given, the care that I received from others. May I use this in a way that benefits myself and the community around me and all the beings in this world. May I take these and receive it with deep gratitude. Gratitude, the acknowledgement of the countless blessings, great and small, that we receive every single day, with every breath and every meal. Gratitude has a trust, a confidence in life itself. It feels the same force that pushes grass through the cracks in the sidewalk, invigorates and keeps you alive every day. Gratitude gladdens the heart. It's not sentimental, not jealous, not judgmental. It doesn't envy or compare. Gratitude receives in wonder the myriad offerings of the rain and the earth and the care that supports every single life.
Rule number 3 is burn bright.
Life will test you. Events, loss, death, pandemics, shocks. This past couple of weeks or few weeks, our dear friends Gabriel and Katie J. Starring, who started this extraordinary nonprofit, IACT, that does anti-genocide work in Darfur and Sudan, people from there in Chad and Central African Republic, and working with people from Syria and so forth. In the most dangerous places, we worried about them. They came home and they were killed in Los Angeles near their house in a car accident when someone ran a red light, and that driver too was killed. They were in their 40s. They had 3 kids. Terribly painful, tragic. And yet they burned bright. When Gabriel said he heard about the continuing genocide in Darfur, he said, I have to do something. Decades ago, he made 40 different trips to Africa, gathering people to help refugees. Yes, life will test you as it tested them, and their response was to burn bright.
Rule number 4 is recognize your emotions.
I've really had to wrestle with anger a lot. And the Greeks call it a noble emotion, the philosophers, because there's something of value in it. So the first thing I want to say is that anger in itself isn't bad. It's difficult to work with, but it's not a bad thing. It's something for us to understand because it's part of human incarnation. And often the anger comes out of hurt, or it comes out of fear, ways that we feel vulnerable. It's a way of protecting ourselves. James Baldwin said, I believe the reason that people cling to their hate and anger so stubbornly is because they're afraid that once hate is gone, they'll be forced to face their own pain. And so we also project it on others, you know, the ones that cause our pain and so forth. Instead, we get angry as if they were the ones making it happen. And we have the enemy du jour. It doesn't matter. Right now, it's Russia and everybody's cheering. We have the Pentagon is like, you know, I don't know what to say. They're celebrating. We have a great enemy again and a bigger budget and so forth. You know, but it can be the immigrants or the Mexicans or the blacks or the gays or the, you know, whoever it is, the enemy du jour. Because we can't bear our insecurity. And we can't bear the fact that we're vulnerable in certain ways. And that what's out there is also part of us. So Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the great Russian author, when he was in the gulags writing these brilliant things and sent out into Siberia, he said, if only it were simple, if only we could just round up the evil people and get rid of them. But the problem is the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who among us is willing to get rid of a piece of our own heart?
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight all of the lessons learned in this video, as well as pull out our 3 favorite learnings and quotes that will inspire you to actually do something. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is always be grateful.
How do we practice?
Feel that? Feel that power, that oneness of us controlling our breathing and our minds? Right here, right now, no matter how hard our movements, exercises were today, no matter how much our body tried to take control of our minds. Feel that? That's you. The real you. That's our consciousness. Our being awake fully. To control our minds, to control our breathing, to control our bodies, to control our lives. It's all possible through the power of you being present, staying in the now, right here, right now, wherever you are, wherever you are. There is no past and future right now. There is only the present, the gift that is you. right here, right now, is just pure presence, pure happiness, pure winning, pure essence, pure determination of who and what we really are. With this power, this peace, right here in this moment right now, we can always have all the mind health, and even greater, the mind wealth we were built for. I love your determination